pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop. Pit stop. It's a pit stop.
What is up, amazing race people? Your amazing race duo, Brooke and Brice of the Purple Pants podcast. Pitstop is back this week covering Amazing Race season 38, episode 8. I'm joined by my talented, my hilarious,
Snorty.
my funny, my
Ridiculous.
snorty, my beautiful co-host, Miss Brooke Camhi,
You're so
the
nice.
winner of Amazing Race season 29.
And Amazing Race season 40.
Oh,
I'm manifesting.
we love to hear it. Yes. What-
I'm ridiculous. I feel
Well,
like
how-
we do this like later in the day. I'm like stir crazy, and when I get tired, I get loopy, and
Oh,
I don't know what's gonna happen in the next, let's call it 48 minutes. Let's see what happens.
okay. Well, I mean, listen. We had an interesting episode. The express passes had to be
Ooh,
used.
yes, they did.
And I mean, I think they were
Fucking
used properly.
Pretty much.
So yeah, we got some things to talk about. But if you haven't already, we did a checkpoint with Kylan and Taylor that was very insightful. For episodes 4 through 7. So if you have not checked it out already, do yourself a favor and head over to the Brice Izyah YouTube channel because it is a Brice Izyah YouTube exclusive and they were dropping gems. And so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check it out. And also, we have a checkpoint with Jag and Jazz, who happen to be on my shirt. Okay, I got a Jag and Jazz shirt. So I'm a part of the termination of the Terminators. We did a checkpoint with them for
I
episodes
think it's
1 through.
Turbinators, like
But
Turbinators.
I know, but I'm a part of the Turbination.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Terminator, like I'll be back. Which
Brooke,
also,
I mean,
honestly, both work.
that's what I'm saying, but I'm a part of the Turbination. And we did a checkpoint with them for episodes 1 through 4. So if you haven't checked that out, do yourself a favor and check it out. But listen, we have a very good episode. I watched it on the plane this morning on my way back from Chicago, and I definitely was crying watching this episode. And I had like a middle seat, and then this older lady, I didn't get her name because when I don't know, maybe we can talk about this, but she saw me crying. She tapped me. She said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Oh no, I'm watching Amazing Race." But I don't know. Airplane etiquette. When you are sitting on an airplane next to people, do you talk to them?
So I'm getting on an airplane in the morning, actually. And so here, so as a New York, I feel like if I'm in the seat first and my like seatmate, whoever they are, comes on, I always say a hello or a good morning or a whatever. I've never been more offended in my entire life. That's an exaggeration. The last time I flew, which was, I don't know, where was I coming from? A few weeks ago. Oh, from Chicago. I was there for work. On the way home, and my company was kind enough to get me a good seat. So anyway, I got on the plane, and this woman, probably about my age, gets on the plane and sits next to me. Doesn't even acknowledge my existence. And I smile and nod, whatever. Nothing. The entire 2.5 hours does not like acknowledge that anything is going on. It's just snotty. And also wasn't super nice to the flight attendant, which is just a red flag. I am sorry. Tip your waitresses and be nice to people in the service industry. They work harder than anyone. Anyway, I like to say hello. And if someone's really I don't like to chat the whole time. I have stuff downloaded on my Kindle. I like to read a book. I like to watch a series. I am prepared to keep myself entertained. Side note, I'm flying with one of my best friends who I've known for 30 years. And we picked an aisle and a window on purpose, thinking maybe no one would sit between us. And there is going to be someone between us. But also, I don't need to fly next to my friends. I will see you when we get there. I'm not moving to a middle. I don't expect her to move to a middle. We'll sit where we sit. The plane is not made for I don't need to sit next to my husband. Like, just get the best seats you can as far as I'm concerned. But if someone's too chatty, I have had to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to do some work. And then I turn on, I don't know, some really bad reality something. And I have people be like, that's not working. I'm like, that's right, stop talking to me. But anyway, she was overly chatty with you.
No, she wasn't. But I felt like she wanted to talk because I could
Mm,
feel her staring at me. But when I fly, I'm like you. I don't need to sit next to my friends.
no,
We don't need to go travel to the airport together. We can be
no.
on the same flight. I'll see you when I get there. But maybe from the first time I ever flew, I was like in 10th grade and I did a summer abroad. And I spent 2 months in Mexico. So it's like my first time flying international. So when I fly, I go into like, I put my body into this like auto mode where I just like, I get in, I say hi, I sit down, I have snacks, I got music, I have
Mhm,
headphones, I got my
mhm.
my TikTok, my like I'm just self-sufficient. Like I go into like get me to this, like get me on and off this plane. So I just was watching my Amazing Race. And I could feel her like kind of looking, but like Miss Mamas, I don't got nothing to say to you. Hey, how you doing? But I just was like, maybe I should be a little more chatty. Because I know whenever I fly with Wendell, and
Oh
like
no.
if he's like in front of me and I can see him, like he's always talking to the people like next to him. That's not me. I just sit there and mind my business.
There's two rules when we get on an airplane in my family. What you do is when you're about to take off, you say wheels up, you text your parents, because if you don't do that, mom and dad Camhi get very what happened, even though they're tracking your flight and they're but we love them. And then when you land, wheels down so they know that you're safe and they don't actually have to look it up and whatever. And other than that, as long as you've done that, you have satisfied the Camhi rules for flying
Okay.
wherever you're going.
And yeah, so but I was crying and she tapped me. First of all, because mind you, I was like so into the episode. First of all, I'm like, who is touching me? But again, she was an older woman. She was nice. She said, "Are you?" I had to pause take my stuff. I said, huh? Everything okay? She said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm watching the Amazing Race." But yeah, so that was my experience. I was crying on the airplane this morning, and also random conspiracy theory. Maybe nobody wants to hear. Maybe somebody wants to hear. Planes are time machines. Okay. Like, I don't care what no one says. Like, my flight to Chicago was supposed to be 2 hours.
Right?
Going there, it was an hour and 40 minutes. Coming back, it was an hour and 20 minutes. Where did those 40 minutes go?
It's called headwinds.
But
It's always faster one direction. Also, there's a time difference with Chicago, so you're going to land earlier than you thought you were going to land. But I don't want to like say it. It's an hour earlier, buddy. Like,
no, I'm just saying. It just is like, y'all, it just seems like y'all could get us there faster or slower at your will, is the only thing that I'm saying. Because where did those 40 minutes go? I know y'all say, oh, the tailwind pushes you. It don't push us that fast.
well, also, I will say there was this one time not too long ago. I was flying by myself. Again, I must have been doing a work thing, and it was across country. It must have been for work, cross country. There was a mom, and she had two kids. The mom and the younger kid were sitting in front of us, and the older kid, who was 7.5 years old, I know because he didn't stop talking to me the entire flight, sat in the middle seat next to me. This kid was, you know me, I love children. So I was like, okay with it, but I couldn't do anything for like 5.5 hours. It was like, can you help me open this? Can you read this to me? Can you tell me what? And I was like, all right, this is what this flight is going to be. So I just sort of embraced it and had fun. You would think the kid would fall asleep at some point. He did not. And then when we got off the plane, he's like, thank you, Miss Brooke. And I was like, okay, fine. You're so cute. I can't even be annoyed. Like he was. And then it was one of those kids who was like, and what do you do? And do you have a mommy and a daddy? And do you have that? And I was like, okay. It was a lot of talking. It was a lot. The mom was very appreciative after the fact. She stopped me and said it was nice. So whatever. You make a kid happy.
No, I mean,
Like I've done my part for the day.
But listen, those planes are time travels, especially when it's like late at night or early in the morning and they make you shut the window. Why I gotta shut the window?
No, you have to shut the window.
Why?
Because I don't want the glare from the sun.
No, I mean I get that, but at night, why we gotta shut the window? Why are you telling me to shut the window? What's happening outside of my window that you don't want me to see? And you conveniently can shave 45 minutes off the time. Okay, you're not fooling me. That's all I got to say.
That's actually hilarious. Do you take a window? Are you a window seater?
I'm
like
a window girly.
Always.
because again, like I said, I go into flight mode. I
Yeah.
empty the tank. I stop
Mm.
eat. If it's a long flight, if it's like 5 hours or more, I stop eating 2 hours before. I don't
Really?
drink. I don't eat, so I can get up in my window and mind my business. Now, on my last long flight, which was it San Diego? Maybe. But again, we shaved off and like an hour coming back. But anyway, another little random story.
Why
of a
can't they
random
shave off
story.
3 hours if they're going to
That
shave
that
off?
but
Shave
they
off more
could
time.
if they wanted to. But I had a window seat coming back from San Diego. It's like 3
Mhm.
weeks ago, and I was like, "Ooh, it was a long flight." I could watch Survivor and Amazing Race.
Mhm.
Put my little phone up. The person in the middle seat will say, "Can you open the window up?" Sir, I cannot.
No, sorry. If you have the window
Sir,
seat, you have the rights
sir,
to the window
thank
seat. I
you.
very
Thank
strongly feel that.
you.
And I'm an aisle sitter unless if I'm like 5 hours or more, I'm taking the window because I like to lean. But I will, and as an aisle sitter for a shorter flight, it is not my place to ask the window person unless the window person has been sleeping and then like gets up to pee and comes back and plans to go to sleep again. In which case, I'll be like, if you're gonna sleep, will you close that? Otherwise, like, it's not my place.
Yes. And
You
now,
buy the
mind you,
window seat, you buy the rights to the shade. That's my feeling. Mm.
now I said, sorry, I'm watching something and whatever. But when we get closer to landing, I can't open it so you can see. But like, if you want control of the window,
Buy the window.
purchase a window seat.
Amen.
Anyway, okay. Those are just
Okay.
my rules of flying. But
And
we
this
don't
has
have to.
been Amazing Race episode 8. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.
I could talk this kind of stuff for days. Nobody has, like, I cannot stand people without plane etiquette. It's also people who don't have metro or subway etiquette. You wait for people to get off before you get on. It is so rude. Elevator etiquette, same thing. And I will always hold the door for everybody. Like, I am a door holder, but if you don't say thank you, I am officially annoyed. And I will say, you're welcome.
You're welcome. I do that. Now, mind you, we're elevator etiquette, I might be the worst. Well, first of all, it's different for me because I'm a black man. So even yes.
Explain further.
So yesterday there was this woman and we were walking. My hotel was weird. You had to like go up an elevator to get to the other elevator. It was a lot.
Okay.
But there were like 2 sets of elevators once you got upstairs, and the one set of elevators was like really, really slow. But I discovered if you walked around, you could those elevators were working fast. So I got up the first set of elevators. I looked around. I was like, oh, I need a bottle of water. I got a bottle of water, and the lady was like on the first elevator with me. So then I like went to get a bottle of water, and then maybe she thought I was following her. But girl, how can I follow you? We go to the elevators. So we walk to the elevators. Again, they're not the main elevator, so they're like a little to the side. And like, first of all, I'm like, I understand, but like, we pressed the button and the elevator came, and she was like, "Oh, you can get this one." Okay, and girl, I got right on and said clunk, and I'm also notorious. If I get on the elevator, somebody come in, I will hit the closed door button. I will. And I can stand in the silence of when the doors, if they close, and then the person presses the button and it opens up again. I'm like, oh, hey. I can stand in that awkward silence. But I am close the door type of girl. Click.
Are you close the door, but you're not a close the door type of person, and then you act like, like you're trying to reopen it.
Oh no, I just stand there.
Okay, fair enough.
I just stand there.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
me.
Also,
Okay.
one more. I also cannot stand, because people don't really smoke cigarettes anymore, but I feel like there's like a resurgence of that. I have never smoked a cigarette in my life, tried once in 9th grade, threw up, told my mother about it immediately. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was at the cast party for Fiddler on the Roof, freshman year. I was huddled. Not important.
Oh.
Anyway, point of my story is when people smoke cigarettes and they throw their cigarettes butts on the ground and they don't step on it, I find that to be like the most egregious thing you can do, because I feel like puppies are going to step on that cigarette and hurt their feet. So I will walk over and I will step on your cigarette in front of your face, and I'll go, you should really step on that. And I've had people be like, what? And I'll be like, a dog is going to burn their feet. And I've had people be like, oh, you know what? Okay. And I also have had people just look at me like I'm crazy, but I'm going to step on those cigarette butts because also smoking is bad. Whatever. Anyway.
It is.
Also, you do you.
I don't know if I'm gonna step on your cigarette, but I mean, yeah. No, in California, I have done that. I stepped on somebody's butt. You just don't play. But okay. All
Okay,
right.
sorry.
Let us know in the comments some of your own personal random travel gripes or some things that get
Yes,
you
biggest pet peeves.
another travel pet peeve of mine. And this is the last thing that we can get into the episode. Because I saw this today.
What is it?
When you go barefoot or socks into the bathroom
Oh,
on the airplane. I see yours.
Barefoot. Why should you
I
don't should be barefoot on an airplane? Not barefoot. If you wear something on bring plain socks. Plain socks are a real thing. I have plain socks in every bag I go because you don't. I'm okay with taking off your shoes. I'm not okay with taking off your shoes and putting your feet up because vomits. But the bathrooms are like the dirtiest places on the planet. Don't. That's just. And barefoot. You've seen someone go in there barefoot.
Barefoot.
I might actually. That's gross.
Ugh.
Gross.
Sir, that's not water on the ground.
And you know whoever that is, their feet, they don't have cute, pretty feet. Like they don't have clean feet. Like those feet are not clean. Ugh. Okay. Ew.
Oh my God. Okay.
Tomorrow
All right. Well,
okay.
Again, let us know in the comments or on Instagram when we post this video. What are some of your travel gripes? We love to hear it because listen, sometimes you just got to complain. But listen, what we can't complain about is Amazing Race because I feel like this was a very Amazing Race-esque episode.
Yes, fine. Yes.
And, normally I gripe. I get mad at episodes like this, but I can't get mad at episodes like this because at the start of the season, when Phil says there are no non-elimination legs, and then we get a non-elimination leg, I be mad. But
he didn't say it this time.
I can't be mad because my brothers, my boys, and I was crying, and I just love emotionally in touch kings. I just love that. Something about that does something to me. But okay, take us off. What's going on, Brooke?
Europe.
Oh.
We're staying in Romania, which actually I wasn't annoyed about. Like they didn't make a thing out of it. It was fine. And I liked it because it was not the kind of leg where the person in first stayed in first and the person in last stayed in last. There was some jumping around, which we knew would happen a little bit because of the express pass, but like it wasn't even express pass people who were jumping around. So I mean, it was, but like the other people also as well were jumping around. So I was very into this. So we are staying in Romania at 9:17 in the morning. You have Tucker and Eric who are off and running, and they have to go to, I want to say it's called Hero Stroke Park, something like that. The largest city park in Bucharest. And then we immediately have an Expedia ad in the show where Phil tells us that they're going to do some sort of Expedia adventure. Thank you, Expedia. Use Expedia. Once he's said that the required like 11 times, we move on. The Expedia adventure, it's weird.
What was the Expedia
thing? I feel like who signs up? I don't know. Maybe people would sign up for that. Like a needle in a haystack challenge is just like PTSD to the max, as far as I'm concerned. Like who would voluntarily sign up to do that? But I guess people do.
It seemed fun. I just wouldn't want to do it if that chicken was there because I was with Taylor. I did think there was something creepy about that chicken.
I liked him.
His head was like kind of cocked to the side
because
a little bit.
His face was clearly in the neck, so he was
right. You could see it. Like yes, okay. Because I was like, okay, well, like, but could they have made it a little bit like
a weird askew?
Yeah,
like
you could
High School Musical costume chicken. I don't know. But okay. Anyway, Jag and Jazz start a little bit later, 9:45, and they show off their express pass, and they say they need to use it today, and they're just being goofy, and they're beautiful goofballs, and I just very much enjoy them. Okay, so Tucker and Eric have found the park, and it is a roadblock, and it says, who is up for an Expedia experience? Eric is. You have to go on a Romanian Easter egg hunt and find one egg that exactly matches the huge eggs, these ridiculous things, that are around the park. You got to roll your egg into this little nest thing, give your little egg to the funky chicken, and then he will give you your clue. Now, little mini gripe for Brooke. I think it would have been cool if either each of the eggs were different or once an egg had been used, like once it was in its nest, if you found that egg again, another one of those eggs, you couldn't use it. So like I think it would have been cooler if there was sort of like a boxing out of eggs, but they were all the same and it was fine.
So
Whatever.
that's what I was struggling with. Like I was like, so all of the eggs were the same?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because like this egg, okay, I guess it. Because that was like the
Yeah.
confusing part for me. I didn't really understand that. And then
Oh, you
I
aren't the only
know
one.
and I know you say the producers are there, but
Mhm.
obviously I watch Amazing Race for the judges. And we had some good judges this episode. But for me, it's like taking because I like to believe that the Amazing Race is like what we see is what we get, right? There's nothing else that's
Nope.
happening. There's not like,
Mhm.
what we see is what we get. How is that chicken telling me if that egg is right or wrong? He can't see.
I wanted that chicken to make some sort of like clucking, like I wanted it to do something when you got it and like lay your clue. Like I wanted it to do something funny. I was into the chicken. But I don't know. It pulled a little postcard out from like its thing and handed them the postcard. I'm sure some judge was like, pause. Hey, chicken, give him the postcard. Unpause. Here's the postcard. Okay, so Eric's doing the roadblock, and then we have Joseph and Adam and Taylor and Kylan who leave next just a minute apart, and they're all going together. We hear a bit more about Adam's diabetes, so we know it's going to come into play somewhere today, and boy, does it ever. And we hear Thailand. I can't.
Oh, I like that. Thailand.
Yeah. We hear that purple team that we love so much say they're going to use their express pass. And then we have Jack and Chelsea leave at 10:45. They're not driving this leg, so maybe they have a chance of not getting lost. And then we watch the episode and we realize of a laugh track. Okay. Izzy and Paige leave a minute later in last place. Izzy and Paige are me. They're like, we're not fast, we're not strong, but we've got heart. And they're talking about wanting a music challenge, which they put in because we get, you know what I say? If you hang around long enough, there is a task that is made for you. Today was for Izzy. Well, yeah, this week was for Izzy, and I loved it. I wanted it to be harder. I wanted it to take long. I wanted to hear more because I was
right.
Like you can tell she's a good teacher. We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, Eric's at the roadblock. Jazz and Jag show up, and Jag does the roadblock too. They use their express pass immediately. They don't even bother to try. I'm for it. If you're going to use it right away. Don't waste your time. Don't which is really the only gripe that I have with Taylor and Kylan because hear me out because I'm fine that they didn't use it. But they're sitting there going, we're going to try it. And if like 3 teams leave, then we're going to use it.
Yeah, that okay. I'm with you because what would be the point of that?
Right. It's not to keep you in at the end. You're trying to get yourself to the front. Right.
Now,
so
I did like their method of not using it at the first one and using it at the second one because I feel like that would have been a lot faster. So I think that's smarter. But I think ultimately, if I were on the race, I would be Jag and Jazz and use it immediately. But it would have pissed me off though that when I use it, Hunter, Eric, and Tucker find the egg. That like I would have been like, that pissed me off. And it was interesting because one thing about Jag and Jazz, they gonna get directions. They getting directions, and I was on the plane, so I couldn't hear a lot, but essentially when Eric, Hunter, and Tucker walk by Jag and Jazz say to them, we got directions. And I'm assuming that they're like, do you want to work together? Like and then Hunter, Eric, and Tucker said, no, thank you. And they kept on going.
They did something that I thought you would have very much loved. They get to the metro station, they get right on a train. They're like, this is probably right. We'll figure it out on the train. The doors close and they're automatically back ahead of Jag and Jazz. And I think that was very smart because even if it was wrong, which it wasn't, you go one stop, you're still in the front. But if it is right, then you automatically give yourself a little bit of a cushion. So I really loved that they did that. And I made a note saying, I think Brice will be really happy that they got on the train without really knowing it was the right train. So
kinda.
Okay.
Kinda. I like the thought process, but I have Jack and Chelsea PTSD. So it's like
they do too probably.
Well, let's figure something. I'm not just running on a train. I will run to the train station, maybe stand in the door and figure out if that's the right way to go. But no, ultimately, like, I mean, they, in my opinion, they burnt Jag and Jazz's Express Pass.
Well,
Because if I'm using the Express Pass at this point, I want to be number one.
well, move faster, Jag and Jazz.
Right.
I'm just saying. The cool thing about this is what I think I would have done in this situation is because you didn't have a clue, you had a picture. So when you get on the train platform and you're about to get on the train, I'm holding that picture up and being like, this train goes here, like this, and hoping that somebody says, and then you're getting on that train.
I don't know if that would work.
No idea how many times I just yell the names of places in the hopes that people would point me in the right direction, and they do. People are kind.
They are. But if I were on the train and you were doing that, I would be like, I would just nod and like keep it moving. Again, you're from New York. I'm from Philly. Like, you know, we're not that nice of people. So it's just like, and sometimes
I am nice. New Yorkers have a bad rep. I will always help somebody with directions.
Well, maybe that's right. But there's also a lot of transient and deranged people on our subway systems.
True.
So like if somebody's asking me to look at, I'll be like, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I think there's okay, that's fine. Fair. Okay, anyway, they have to go to the Palace of Parliament, which we find out is like the heaviest building in the world. I don't know, 4.1 million tons? Like, what's 4.1 million times 2,000? That's like a ridiculous amount of pounds.
It just seemed like it's a waste. And
right, you could have made that
competition. Like who is in competition?
And also, how accurate could that be? Like,
right? How do you actually know how much it weighs?
I mean, material and how much is used, I guess. But like, what? I don't really feel like that's a bragging thing. I'd be like, this is the lightest building.
It's weird, but what I want to know is, can it withstand a hurricane? Can it?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, can it withstand doomsday? Right? Like, let me know that, because if it's that, then okay, I like it.
But I'm moving to Romania for when the world inevitably ends.
But also, then it just makes me nervous that, like,
right,
could it start to sink? That's a lot of weight for the ground.
That's also true. Oh, that's so interesting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm like,
it also used to be the tallest building, and then over time,
now it's shrinking.
It's like an elderly person, which just started to like marginally shrink. Oh my God, I hope I never shrink. Okay, anyway, the team of four, what are we doing? There, we have Adam and Kylan doing the egg thingy. Jack and Chelsea seem lost at this point, but they ask for help and they're on there. I really, really like Jack and Chelsea. I don't think we've seen enough of them. When they were in last place, I was like, bleep. Do you have a bleep button? You should, because that would be good. Anyway, right. When they were in last place and I thought they were going home, I was actually really sad. So, I mean, it's fine that it was a non-elimination, but I'm glad that they were in last. Okay, so Izzy and Paige jump a spot, find the clue first. Izzy's doing the egg thing. Adam finds an egg that is like not even not even close to the right egg. I don't know, but he's like, is this right? We wheels over the big egg and it's like, is this right? And the chicken's like, and then Chelsea starts doing this, and I don't know what's coming next, but I write down that Taylor and Kylan should have used their express pass immediately or not at all, and I'm glad they don't use it at all. Kylan finds the right egg.
Can we talk? First of all, I said this last week. Why I love Kylan, because when Kylan do something, Kylan gonna do it. Kylan was on all fours.
In concentric circles. I thought he did it great. But why? Why are you now going up to Adam being like, this is the egg? This is Adam and Joseph could have been there for a month. He was not understanding what the right egg to use was. Now, I don't want them to be there for a month, especially because we've now heard foreshadowing of Adam having some sort of episode. But Kylan, there's 6 teams left, man. What? This like
listen,
too much.
You said you're from New York. You're nice.
Yeah.
So
this is
it
the
pays
amazing
to be
race.
nice.
Shit
But
don't fly.
But okay, my only like gripe with that was if all of the eggs are the same, it doesn't like we should know what the egg look like because we have a huge big egg right there.
You should. And yet Adam has now brought 2 wrong eggs over to the chicken and said, "Is this one good?" And the chicken's like, "No." And so sometimes, but I will say, like, race blinders are a real thing. Some, like, common sense is not so common when, like, you're tired and everything is going on around you. But there's not a lot of teams left, Kylan. You need every advantage that you can get. I don't think you need to be telling people things, but not important. Anyway, Jag and Jazz are on the subway. Eric and Tucker have found Parliament. Honestly, I don't want to say this, but I kind of hope Eric and Tucker don't win this whole thing. Only because if there is an all-winner season, I don't want to go up against them. They're so flipping fast in everything they do. Are you texting them and telling them what I said? Like, don't repeat it.
No,
Okay.
I kind of with you, or in the sense of, like, when they beat Jag and Jag. First of all, 4 episodes ago, I said, if they keep this up, I'm jumping on the Hunter, Tucker, Eric train. I'm choo-choo, I'm on the train.
Mhm.
Now, when they passed them on the train, I kind of got off the Eric, Hunter, Tucker train in the sense of, like, how I, like, my model, when you're in the front in the beginning, it doesn't make it fun to watch. And so at this point, y'all have won 4 legs in a row. I can't root for you anymore. Although I'm rooting for you, Hunter, but I can't root for y'all anymore. I have to root for an underdog because it's just not fun. And
I think it's so fun.
I mean,
I'm really enjoying watching them. I think they do a great job. The only reason I don't want them to win is because if I get to go back, I don't want to have to race them. Which I know, these are like long shot things. I don't care. This is how my mind works. It's not logical. It's just there's a lot that goes on up in this mess. If you only knew. Okay, anyway, at the Parliament building, we have a detour. It says hit the beat or hit the note. Okay, so I see hit the beat and I go, uh-oh, Kylan, good thing you didn't use your express.
I said,
because last week, Kylan and Taylor told us that Kylan he can do everything but dance. Man cannot dance.
Well,
so
Kylan didn't tell us that. Like I said, I've been knowing Kylan for 5 years. I've been in TikToks with him. I've been at parties with him.
Does he just not have rhythm?
I mean, I don't know. It just looked like it's not unusual to be loved by anyone, but he tries it. So
well, that's what's important, honestly.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. I can't really dance either, though. Like, I just fake it. Like, I really can't. Like, I called me Mary J. Blige. I got a nice little 2-step. That's it.
You just keep it here.
And if all else fails, I'll shake a little.
You don't need to
and
go
then
here.
that's it.
You don't need to go here. You keep it here.
It's
very Hitch.
Boom, 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 boom. Now,
doing it.
I have a little tequila club. Now, if I have a couple tequila club sodas, so here's the difference. Like, I can dance, but I can't, like.
You're in your head about it?
I just, like, anything more than 5 seconds, then it's like I'm weird. But if I have a couple tequila club sodas in me,
you don't care that you're weird.
Trick my mind that I can dance, and then I could kind of dance. But again, it's really just me shaking some, and that's it. But that's
honestly, I like dancing, but the thing is, like, I was trained like in theater. Like, I can dance. You can teach me a dance. I can learn the dance. I will learn your dance quickly. But I just sort of copy who's ever around me, like, and do whatever they're doing. I'm like, they're not getting laughed at. I can do that. Anyway, Kylan, apparently not a dancer. So it's keep the beat, learn this traditional dance, get the okay from the choreographer, or the one for Izzy, which is, what is it, hit the note, where you have to, I don't know, put together
make a flute,
pan flutes, and then you have to play this tune, and then the head pan flute guy will play a little ditty of his own, and he will give you your next clue. I am so glad Izzy was still in the game, because this one was made for you. And
like, not even made. Izzy she get paid to blow on the flute, to play the, and the flute is the flute considered a brass or percussion? Or windwood? It's windwood. It's windward.
Woodwind.
Woodwind.
No, is the clarinet's a woodwind? I guess.
Well, I mean, you have a background in musical.
I mean, I played the clarinet.
I
Mm-hmm.
played the cello.
Oh, I wish. I always wanted to learn the cello and or the violin. Never played it.
I wasn't really good at that. And here's a okay. Uh
Keep talking, because
I played the cello for 3 years. Girl, never really learned how to read the notes. And let me just tell you, at our spring and winter, what we call it, recitals, bitch, I was just up there pretending. Okay, I said it.
There has to be more than one cello then, right?
Oh, there was a lot. But
Okay.
and so I played
Could
it.
you imagine you're the only cello and you're like
And
looking at the
my
music and
my music teacher knew it because she tried to kick me off one time because it was during when we were doing like standardized testing. And again, I would practice. I just, first of all, I feel like I suffer from a little dyslexia. So like it would be hard for me. I would have to write it would just take me forever because we would get the music. Because I couldn't just read it. Like I would have to write the notes. So that would
like
take
the
me forever.
names
She
of the
would
notes underneath the
like
note.
I would have to write it underneath like A, that
Like
like
C
I would
sharp,
have
yeah,
to, yes, because that's the only way I could read it. She wouldn't help me with that. So I would have to do that while we were
Teach you
there.
to read music, friend.
Yes.
I got you.
So she ain't want me on it. So I got it in 6th grade. In 7th grade, I had this teacher named Miss Thompson. And I always wanted Miss Thompson. She was this beautiful Black woman. And like, she was just the premier 7th grade teacher. But she was just so cool. And it was during standardized testing. We had like practice and stuff. So I missed the practice because of our standardized testing. So then the following week when we could go, right before our spring recital, I'm feeling a mess. And my teacher basically, she was just like, you don't know the whatever. Like, there's no point for you to be here. So I went back to class and I was like kind of crying. And Miss Thompson was like, what? Why are you back? You're supposed to be in music now. Because I was special. Because I passed the test. So like I would get excused out of class. So Miss Thompson was like, why are you back here? I was like, she said I could go. Miss Thompson said, excuse me. Miss Thompson walked me and my cello back down to the band room and gave that teacher a piece of her mind.
I love
and
that.
But back to my story. I never really
Okay.
read the notes. And so during the spring and winter recitals, girl, I was just up there. And so 6th grade, I was in the back. 7th grade was in the middle. 8th grade, I got like the spot, like right by the, like right off the stage. And I was just up there like.
You play air cello. That's amazing. That's so funny. Everyone else is so serious and you're
And
just
they are.
rocking out on it. That's hilarious. So you would have done the dance one then, or you would have done the music one?
I probably would have done the flute.
Yeah. I would have probably done I love to dance, but I probably would have done the flute too. Fun fact, sight read. I can sight read and I have perfect pitch. So you hear a note, I can sing the note. You can hear the note, I can play the note. It's very useful in like escape rooms where they have like a piano or something and you're supposed to be able to play a tune. Like I've skipped the part where you like learn the notes and I will just hear it and I will just play it and the clue will pop out of the thing. It was like my best escape room experience ever.
Oh,
I felt very valuable in that room. Anyway, not important. Whoo, Chelsea finds an egg. What?
I've never been to an escape room. We gotta play a piano.
So there was one escape room in New York and there was a piano in it. I was like, oh, great, something for Brooke. And if you listened over the thing, like you would hear like a series of like 8 notes. And at some point in the room, you would find a scroll and it would tell you, like the piano had the letters on the notes.
Too advanced.
And it would tell you what you had to play. And I didn't find that scroll. I just listened to the notes and played it on the piano and the next clue popped out. And they were like, well, you cheated. And I was like, no, I didn't. I'm whatever.
Pitch perfect.
Yeah. Screw off. Anyway. Chelsea finds an egg? Or do you want to talk more?
No, I just I'm all over the place today. We should record at night. I was listening to a podcast earlier. This has nothing to do with Amazing Race. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
But they were talking about like, are you prepared for your downfall? It was like rich people, and they're talking about like, are you prepared for your downfall? Are you prepared for like, they were saying like, it's common that people think for like financial literacy, that people always think they're going to make more money the next year and they never really plan not to make next, like, you know, and so like they were just talking like, and one of the people said, yeah, I save for a rainy day. And I was in the car with my friend and my friend was like, why are you looking like that? And I was like, I don't think I ever knew what saving for a rainy day meant until right now in this moment. Now hear me out. I always thought saving for a rainy day was
I'm so curious.
like Winnie the Pooh and your honey pot. Like you're saving for like this big whoo. I always thought that. Like I thought it was like you're saving I don't know, you're putting money up so that you could get something. I never in that moment I was like, "Oh my God, a literal rainy, gloomy day."
So much.
I never knew that. I say that not a lot, but I say that, and I mean I'm saving to go on vacation. That's
I'm
my
saving
rainy.
for a rainy day. It's
Yeah.
Barbados. And people are like, wait, what?
I never knew it was that literal, and and mind you, they didn't even explain it, but I just was listening and I thought about it, and I was like, oh my God, if it's rainy, it's gloomy, and
bad things have happened. But you say it. There you go. Mind's blown. And you were today years old when you.
So
learned
you
it.
already knew that.
Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, but there are plenty of things that you've said that I have no flipping clue about. That one I knew.
Okay.
I was always taught you save for a rainy day.
But right, so are we. But I always thought the rainy.
Nobody told you what the rainy day meant. I love that so much.
I thought I like a rainy day.
You're like, when it's rainy, I'm gonna go on vacation. That's what I was saving for.
But I just never knew it was so literal in the sense. I just thought it was a saying that you say to save money, but it sounds a little too positive if you ask me.
It shouldn't be a rainy day. It should be
it's like I'm saving for a typhoon.
Yeah. Okay. Would that have made a difference?
It would have, because I think I would have translated a typhoon is I don't know.
Really bad, right? Okay. See? The more you know. Okay. So Chelsea finds an egg. It is not the right egg. Anyway, Adam finds a second wrong egg. Come on. Then yes, Izzy finds an egg. And of course, she pays attention to detail, and she's smart, and she's fabulous. It's the right egg, and they have now jumped from 6th place to 3rd place. Love it. And I'm thinking to myself, oh God, Kylan and Taylor don't use the express pass. Now, I hope you find it, because that would be a true waste. But they don't. He stays calm. He finds the egg. And then he tells Adam what to do, which we already talked about, and I don't like. Chelsea then finds an egg, and I'm excited they're in 5th, because I was thinking they're going to go home because they can't find things. They're very good at things, but they have a lot of trouble finding where to go next. I was going to say not today, but the leg ain't over. Okay, so Adam starts to get a bit discouraged, and I think you can start to tell it's getting to him a little bit, but kudos to Adam, because the dude does not complain. I think he would have fallen over and died before he ever said, we need to stop and take a break. Now, at some point, that may hurt him, but he does a great job. He ultimately ends up finding one. Jag and Jazz get to Parliament, and they choose to dance. So I'm excited that we're going to see both detours in this place. And I love the fact that the top 2 teams that are really close to each other are doing opposite detours, because you sort of get an idea of how long they actually take. Right. What?
But I was going to say, sometimes, the editing, it doesn't sometimes the way that they edit it, it doesn't align. But again, like I said, when I watch The Amazing Race, I watch it what I'm seeing is what it is in that moment.
I also really liked the editing this episode, because we found out a little bit more. We found out that the dance detour was 4 minutes from the pit stop, as opposed to the flute one, which was a little. I had the door open because it's hot in here. We can't control the heat. Well, I guess we can, but I didn't turn it off. It's just hot. And a little gnat has decided to come in and say hello. Anyway, not important. Sorry. And then we also find out Jag and Jazz's taxi driver knows a shortcut. I just like the editing this episode, because none of the check-ins were as I expected them to be. So I was very, very pleased with that. Anyway, Jag and Jazz talk about how they think it's cool to do the dances because you're learning more about the culture. And I love that. You can tell that they are like soaking up everything that's happening. And it's hard though, because when you're on the race, like you just start going, okay, here's what we need to do. And you don't really think about it a lot of the time. There was one point in Greece where I looked at Scott and I was like, look out your window. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But like only for a second. But they're like really soaking it up and enjoying it, which I very much enjoy.
Reminds me of our summer watch. We rewatched Amazing Race season
15.
15.
Mhm.
And who were the brothers?
Sam and Dan.
Sam and Dan. It reminds me of, I think it was Sam, when they would be the places, Sam would be like, oh my God, it's so beautiful out. And Dan would be like, shut up, Sam. But except they're both Sam. And so they both enjoy it. And
They do both enjoy it. I wish the dance were a little bit harder. It didn't seem particularly difficult. And I didn't love that the dance judge was like, you need to change this. You need to change that. Like, it's a little too much instruction as far as I'm concerned.
Because normally on the edit, they just be like, no. And it's like, well, what did I do wrong? So I appreciated her. She wasn't my favorite judge this episode, but she was way better than the chicken.
I liked the chicken.
I didn't. I was with Taylor. You can miss me with the chicken.
Shitty chicken. Okay. The outfits, by the way, for the dance, I hope they save those vests. Like, if I could have taken that vest, I would carry around I want more outfits. Anyway, okay. So, Jag, by the way, like an expert spinner. Jazz, not so much, but he's trying.
But I love that he was like, I keep getting confused, but I'll just allow Jag to lead me. I said, yes.
Yes, correct. That's how we do it. Okay, so Kylan and Taylor show up to the detour. They decide to do whichever is closer. I say yes, having the thought process to go which one, because they don't know where the pit stop is, but they do know where they have to go next. And so they look directions for both. Doesn't matter because they're not going to do it. And they go to the dance because they're going to skip it. And they find the dance and they say, here you go. Thank you so much. And then we cut back to Jack and Chelsea. They find the parliament and they decide to play the flute. And they decide they're going to take the bus to the detour because there is something at the beginning of the episode that says you can't take a taxi until further notice.
Further notice.
At least they didn't mess up and take a taxi. The bus. There's nothing worse. There's no worse feeling well, there is, but like it's a bad feeling on the Amazing Race to be sitting somewhere and just waiting for something to come get you because somebody else is not doing that. They're using their feet or they're doing something or they're finding some other way, but they are waiting for the bus and they're having this moment where they're just frustrated. Like, I get it. Sometimes I shut down and I feel like I love a father-daughter. What is the fate? Tell me.
I know, I'm just listening. I just have thoughts. Share
your thoughts.
I wasn't really feeling the way Chelsea was talking to Jet this episode. Sorry, I had to say it. It's a little too light. And again, that's their relationship. And it seems like Jack can spit it out and take it, and she can spit it out and take it. So that's definitely their dynamic. But I was raised by a Barbara, and I wouldn't dare talk to my parents like that. So I just, I was kind of sad.
I didn't think it was so bad.
I thought it was a bit egregious. Just a bit. But I understand they was frustrated. But like when she was like, well, what? Say it. You can say it, but I can't say it. I was like, oh my God, girl, that show.
I didn't read it as that aggressive. I think it was like you could tell he was like, there was something. He's like, I'm fine. No, you're not. Fine is not a word that anybody, man, woman, parent, child should ever use because nobody who ever says they're fine is actually fine. Like I feel with rare exception, but I feel like in general, when someone says I'm fine, no, they're not. And I like the fact that they didn't just let it stew. She was like, no, you're not. So just tell me what it is and let's hash it out and be done with it. And I like that they did that. I thought it was a better way to handle it than just shutting down and just letting it stew. If you let things stew, it ruins the rest of your leg. That's my thought.
You're right, but I still was like,
I mean,
girl, that's your dad. He about to take your allowance away from you for 3 weeks, and you're not going to be able to go to the sleepover this weekend. What are you doing?
It doesn't bother me.
I mean, I get it. I'm just, I'm more of a Danny and Angie. So, that's just. But listen, I'm not mad, but I was like, oh my God. She was cussing her dad out.
But she didn't.
But I mean, she didn't cuss him out, but like she was cussing him out.
I don't know. I like the dynamic between the two of them. It didn't bother me. Okay. So,
you could talk. You could talk to Papa Camhi like that.
yeah, and he would talk the same way back to me. Also, 100% when she's like, "Dad, don't be food smacking in my ear." That should be on the list of pet peeves. When people who like chew with their, I don't like gum. I find gum like gross. Like when people like smack, and mouth breathers. I used to work with a mouth breather who was just like,
well,
I had to share an office with that guy for like a short period of time. No.
Some mouth breathers don't know that they're a mouth breather, so we're going to give them a little grace. Boom.
He was
told. 2, if you're chewing gum, how else are you supposed to get the flavor out of it? You can't get the flavor out of it if you have to.
There's a difference between like chewing and.
Yeah, because you got to get the flavor out of it. So, I'm with that.
I'm not.
And
I don't know.
I'm a single young man that lives by myself.
Well,
and
that's fine.
When I eat, I do tend to smack because you have to enjoy it. And then when I get around people tell me, like, you're smacking.
No,
well, I'm enjoying it.
I've never seen you smack.
I definitely smack.
Or it didn't bother me because I find you lovely, and so maybe.
Well, mind you, I probably was polite and on my best behavior, but
I also probably was 3 tequilas deep, and it didn't bother me.
Well, that's right, okay, and I probably was more sipping than eating, but I definitely have been yelled at by multiple of my friends saying that I smack. But listen, how can you savor food if you don't smack? So if your food is nasty, fine. I won't. That's how you know.
I'll know it's good. Like I have you over for dinner and you're smacking,
yes.
you like it. But if you're not, then I have done a very bad job at cooking you dinner. Understood. Okay, great, got it. Okay, so Tucker and Eric. Yes, are at the flute. Tucker's like me too. We did our thing at our last leg when I had to change a tire, and the second I knew I wasn't going to do it in the right amount of time, like nope. Start again. Like, why am I wasting my time? Well, Tucker, the second he plays the wrong note, is like, again, starting over. And I, because you don't want to waste your time. Like Chelsea did when she was going down the hill. She's like, I'm not going to make it. I'm going back to the top. Not wasting my energy, which I approve of. Whoo! Jag and Jazz at this time are doing the dance. And they're very lucky because no one else is there. So every time they get a no, I like this. They just start over in front of the judge, which I approve. Don't waste your time. Don't go back and practice. You'll get it eventually. Jack and Chelsea are ... lost. And they get lost for a really long time. I am very impressed because they're saying, we've been lost for an hour. We've been lost for this. And yet they were so good at doing the task they had to do that they jumped back into not last place. I liked this episode because I was surprised. It wasn't like, oh, okay, this is first. I was surprised by who came in first. I was surprised by who came in last. Love it. At this point, Joseph and Adam have gotten to Parliament, and they have decided they are going to do the dance. When you've finished, which Tucker and Eric and then Jag and Jazz do, you find out you have to go to the Green Hours Jazz and Theater, some cafe, restaurant, to get your next clue. I love there was an additional task. Like it was not just detour, roadblock, detour, pit stop. There were additional stops, the Parliament. There were additional tasks, this meat thing. Love it. Okay, so Jazz and Jag are on their way to the meat thing. And then after 6 tries, Eric and Tucker get the flute thing, and they are also on their way there. Taylor and Kylan have handed in their express pass. And Izzy and Paige are at the flute. Izzy is impressing everyone, and she's like a really good teacher. You could tell, like, if I'm going to learn the flute, and I would love to learn the flute, that she'd be a really, really good teacher. She's patient, she's kind, and she's also like, I loved watching Paige do that. Like, relationship goals.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And she's animated. There's something about, like, her animation that, like, as a visual learner, right, that would help me out whole lot. So yeah,
but also she's not like mugging for the camera or fake. You can tell when people are like, "Oh, I'm on TV," and like,
right,
she's not. So that's who she. Right, you can tell she's just being who she is, and probably forgot the cameras are on her. I suffered from that. Did not go well for Brooke. Which is, the more I think about it, maybe we don't rewatch 29. But we will. We will.
We've already agreed. So
We will.
sorry.
It'll be a thing. Fine. Okay. So Jack and Chelsea are still lost. Adam is struggling at the dance. Like Joseph's like, should we take a break? And Adam's like, no, we sleep when we're dead. Like we're not taking a break. And good for him. But I'm thinking,
right.
maybe take like 1 minute.
That's what I'm saying. Like
something like tax some electrolytes and then go back. You don't need to take a 15-minute break. Like at least put something in your system that's going to kick in.
That's what I'm telling you. Now, obviously, you know, I'm obsessed with the, like, you know, first of all, you know, I want a woman to win, but you know, I am obsessed with Jag and Jazz, and I am obsessed with Adam and Joseph, only because it's like they're like 13-year-old brothers. Like that's how they act, and I just love it. And I think when they were running to get to the dance, at one point in time, Joseph was like, do you want a little snack thing? Like, and I love how he like just turned the book bag to Adam to like, get the snack bag out the backpack. And Adam was like, no, I don't have that time to like, whatever. Like, I love how concerned Joseph is for Adam. And I love how Adam is like, my blood sugar is dropping, but I'm gonna keep pushing it through. But take care of yourself, Adam, because I was getting a little nervous. You know,
there was a non-15-minute option to like. Side note: when Adam and Joseph are on the way to the pit stop, Joseph is in the back eating some sort of snack. Adam's not eating anything. I'm thinking, give some to your brother. He probably needs a little bit of a pick-me-up. Not important. Anyway, whoo! Tucker and Eric and Jag and Jazz are at the meat thing, and they're making like these. The
snacking. What's it called? Chicken bacon? No.
It was called. I have this written down.
Mikadaka. It's something like with a meat and a snack.
Michi? Something like that. Anyway, you have to prepare 10 of these michi. Yeah, michi. Yeah. Each. And then eat one. I love an extra task. I wish they would have actually had to like mix the concoction together instead of just like rolling them out. But this is like mini gripes. I like that they had to do something else. Eric and Tucker hand in their little meat logs. And they're told that the ends are no good. Jag and Jazz show up. And honestly, quick. I mean, and yes, good job. I think it's Jazz who makes extra in case 2 of his are no good. And the guy's like, well, these are good. Okay. Jack and Chelsea.
By far the best judge. By far the best judge that we have seen, because he was giving no passes on the meat. And I don't think you should give a pass on the meat, in my opinion.
Same. Okay. Okay, so Jack and Jazz are there. Jack and Chelsea are still lost. I want to see more of them, so I'm worried that they're going home. But the Amazing Race has tricked me twice this episode, and I love that. Okay, Tucker and Eric get a yes on the meat, and they guzzle down their meat log thing like very quickly. And then they're told they have to race to the pit stop, which is this Royal Palace, Mogoshwaya or something like that. And then Jag and Jazz get the okay for the meat, and Jazz made 12, which we talked about, and they are in second place. Okay, so Eric and Tucker get in a cab, and their cab driver, they see that it says like 37 minutes to the pit stop. Jag and Jazz get in a cab, and their driver's like, I know a shortcut. Oh, I worry. And I'm like, a shortcut's never usually a shortcut, or it would just be the way. But their driver apparently does know a shortcut, because at the pit stop, come back from commercial, and we see, to my surprise, Jag and Jazz check in first, and they win a trip, yes, to Bermuda. I love that. And they seem and honestly, the things they get to do in Bermuda seem pretty cool. It's not like find an egg and hand it to a funky chicken. It's like cool food tours and cave tours and this and that, and it looks really fun. Eric and Tucker come in.
Do people go sightseeing in the Bermuda Triangle?
I don't think so. I feel like you're just asking.
No, I'm really asking.
No, but I feel like if someone wanted to do that, they would be. It's like very stitious. Like I don't know if stitious should be a word. You know, like superstitious. Yeah, but I'm like, what if you're like not superstitious? What if you're just like a little stitious? I don't know.
Do cruise lines go through the Bermuda Triangle?
I do not believe they do.
And is it because?
I don't think so. Someone can correct me, but I do not believe they do. I think like it's just like folklore. Like things disappear.
But
do they? But I
don't know. I mean, listen, because I can go on my other conspiracy theory, because they say space is not up; it's in the ocean. So I mean,
well, that's freaking me out now, because I'm a scuba diver and I will be diving this now. But now, am I going to go diving this weekend, or am I just going to get sucked into the abyss that is space? If I don't
I'm
see you
just
guys again, it's gonna
saying.
be so fun. If this is the last time, God forbid.
Well, I mean, I'm sure where
my
you're
God.
going, but I'm just saying, like, just the ocean is just so uncharted.
I love the ocean.
Well, there should just be an amazing race season where you're just on like it's just the ocean. I also random of a random. I really want to go to one of those like oil rigs or like not hear me out. Like in the middle of the ocean, how they're like those like shelters that like I want to like go for a weekend.
To an oil rig?
Not per se a oil rig, but you know how like in the middle of the ocean, there'll be like those things that I guess
Like a sandbar?
not a sandbar. It's like you've seen the scary movies or like the movies where like it's an abandoned oil rig and they like climb up and it's like a whole little station of a.
Sure. Why is that on your list?
I don't know, just sound like a fun, like, I don't know, in the middle of the ocean. I don't know.
I will tell you, in Fiji, in the middle of the ocean, we jet skied out, and there is like I don't know if you call it a sandbar, but there is like a spot where, depending on the time of day, it's either like there's a little area that's like you can get off your jet ski in the middle of the ocean and walk on this and sit there, and there's no like island, like all around. I have videos. But at certain times of days or certain days of weeks, whatever, when the tide is I don't know, people take like full on barbecues out there, and they have full on like barbecue parties out. And we didn't get to do that. It wasn't the right day, but very, very cool. But I don't oil rig. That's also like one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, working on an oil rig.
That and
people who do it, like tuna, like
and the deadliest catch.
Yeah.
Do you remember when maybe I'm aging myself, but I remember like the first 4 seasons of the deadliest catch. Oh my God.
That stuff, I like the water, but like, and people need to do those jobs, I guess. But like, I give a lot of credit. And also like the logging drivers that drive on those twisty roads, like in the ice. Never driving behind a truck with logs on it. I have seen the Final Destination movies. That is not, there's ever a log truck in front of me, I am passing it and goodbye. I will speed responsibly, Mom. Relax. Okay, anyway.
Do you know what I did one time on the way to Toronto?
What?
I was driving, Wendell was sleeping, and we were behind one of those log trucks. And I just like, I just was like, ah! And he woke up and he like practically shot himself.
So I had friends in college who were driving to like a fraternity formal, and the kid in the back seat was sleeping. And so one of the guys in the front, like cell phones were like, God, I'm aging myself, like just becoming a thing that like people were like having on the regular. Anyway, the driver swerved really hard. There weren't people on the road. Everyone in the car screamed their faces off. And the kid who was sleeping in the back never even opened his eyes. But on the video, you just see him going, like he knows he's going to die. And it's just the funniest. It's mean, but it's really funny.
Oh my God.
You doing that to Wendell is so mean.
Yes.
Really funny. Don't ever do it to me.
Oh no. Never.
Because I will probably poop my pants. Okay. Kyle and Taylor have found the meat, and Joseph and Adam have found the dance. Joseph asks who's the best dancer, and nobody responds. I think that's really, really funny.
Should you be asking for future amazing racers? Should you be asking who's the best dancer or who's the best teacher?
Yes, thank you. Who's the best teacher? Who wants to help us? Whatever, the person who's the most into it. Make sure they all speak English. Because, some people are like, they're not all like pro teachers. But that first guy was like, I'll do it. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm into it.
The flute. Are we talking about the flute guy?
Oh, I like the flute guy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, how you give the instructions, then stand back in line and they ask who do you want to do it, and he just jumps up. Sir, sit back.
I like that guy. He is involved, and he's going to teach you well and fast, because
you can't do both of them now. Like, I'm like, how are you telling us what to do? And then they ask you and you go, I'll do it. Sir, that is not what the volunteer waiver was. These other people are supposed to get camera time. Sorry.
I would have taken that guy. He was peppy. He was into it. I want that guy to teach me. Okay. So we know that Izzy and Paige have crushed the flute. They're on their way to the meet. At the meet, I knew this would happen. Kylan gets 10 out of 10 immediately because obviously, because his are like so perfectly. And then Taylor gets what, 7 out of 10, and they have to go back and do it. And I'm thinking, why doesn't Kylan just make the other 3? But he can't because it says each person needs to make 10. And so Taylor has to do it. Kylan's like, just do it like this, and shows her and shows her. I honestly, if I were her, I would. She was nicer than I would have been. Like she looks like she wants to smack him, but then he says something that lightens the mood, and she laughs, and like all the tension is broken. But like, he's like, no, that's not right. Do you see how you're not doing it right? And I was like, oh, I would.
You gotta apply pressure to the middle. So I would have been like, shut up.
He was trying to help. Like that's how. But we've talked to Taylor and Kylan. It's just their names together. Like I want to just make them like a Bennifer. Anyway, we've talked to them, and you can like that's just how Kylan works. Like he's trying to be helpful, but like in that moment, I'm like, that's not helping me. But the fact that he says something that makes her laugh, I think is actually very helpful because the tension was like ratcheting up, and he broke it, the tension, which is good. Okay. Whew. Her meet ends up being okay, and they are in third place. Adam and Joseph are still dancing. I wish the judge would cut them off when they do something wrong because they're doing something wrong right at the beginning, and she makes them do the entire dance. And I'm like, Adam's going to keel over. Like, I'm worried for his safety. Okay. Izzy and Paige are at the meet, and Paige starts telling the story about how her grandfather in Texas sits her down when she's younger and is so concerned that she's becoming a vegetarian. Which Izzy says is code for lesbian.
But I then wonder.
But I think he's more concerned that she's actually becoming a vegetarian.
Because then I was wondering, like, well, if he were my grandfather, like, would he sit me down and be like, no more meat lover pizzas for you? Or like, I wonder what he would have been concerned about for me. Like,
you need to become a vegetarian.
Oh, right.
Ooh, okay. Jack and Chelsea are at the flute. They're doing an okay job. I mean, Jack starts getting in his head a bit, but I'm like, keep your head up, Jack. You're not out. The thing is, when there's nobody around you and you don't know what place you're in, like it's really disheartening, but they're okay. So Joseph and Adam on their like sixth try get it. They're in 5th place, and Jack and Chelsea get the flute on their 5th try, and they're in last place. Ooh. They're both headed to the meet. Taylor and Kylan have checked in 3rd. Izzy and Paige are told that their meet is perfect on the 1st try because they're great. And they're in 4th place. And Jack and Chelsea actually find the meet before Joseph and Adam.
I was shocked.
I'm like, this is going to be an interesting ending because apparently the flute thing is closer to the meet thing. And like, it's just, I'm loving the fact that I did not know who's showing up first and last. Izzy and Paige check in 4th. Meanwhile, back at the meet, Jack and Chelsea have to redo every single piece of meat. But on the 2nd try, they get it. And they are off to the pit stop. And as they're eating, Jack is smacking his lips, and Chelsea's like, absolutely not in my ear. I feel like I'm thinking about it. And I just, not because Jack, like anybody, like it's just,
My one gripe with Jack and Chelsea right there is, baby, we're not savoring this meat. And go. Like, you see that's like, what are y'all doing? And go. But I want to try the snack and bacon, though. It looks so good.
I kind of want to try it, too. Like, I'm a meat lover. Although, after my last trip to Ireland, like, I stopped ordering meats. I like chicken because I need something. But I felt so badly because the cows and the goats and the sheep were all so cute that if it's in front of me and somebody else has ordered it or whatever, it's a buffet, I'll eat it. Like, I'm not going to not eat it. I don't want to waste it. But I stopped ordering. And duck. I think ducks are cute. Every so often.
Want to know what a random fact? Do you like liver?
Mm-hmm.
I love liver. Do you like beets?
I do.
Okay, they say most people that like beets like liver, but my aunt Helen used to make a liver. I love liver. And I
was it like a chopped liver, like a Jewy kind of thing, or was it more of like a liver steak?
Like a liver steak.
Oh, I've never actually had that. I've only had chopped liver, like my people.
So I mean, it's like come like a little thing, and like you whatever with like some onions and green peppers.
So good.
But just love it. But is liver beef?
Oh, it's offal. It's an organ. But it's like chicken liver is chicken,
Right,
Like,
but it's like all like because I Googled this the other day. Hold on, wait,
am I
wait.
wrong?
Well, you're right, but you're hold on, because why at 3 o'clock in the morning was I trying to figure this out? Hold on. Did it go
I mean, I
away?
guess it's better than going down a rabbit hole of like Christmas tree fires and roller coaster accidents like I've heard you
Yeah.
doing.
Uh hold on, where is it at? Because it gave me this like really fun synopsis. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. This is what happens when we record late at night.
Mm,
Because it is okay, yes, beef liver is the liver from a cow.
mhm.
It is a type of organ meat also known
Mhm.
as offloaf. But wait,
Awful.
where's the yes. It was saying something like where like all beef isn't liver, but live all but anyway, but I didn't realize that beef is considered a type of cut, not like means it comes from a cow.
Wait, what?
We'll have to
What do you
come back to
mean beef
this.
is considered a type of cut?
That's what the Google said
Okay.
yesterday.
You keep looking. We'll go back to it.
Okay.
Anyway, Joseph and Adam are told all their meats are good and they're off to the pit stop too. Adam is crying in the back of the cab because he feels
Whew.
like he let his brother down. I too start to tear up because I have had that feeling where you feel like you let your partner down, even though you're trying your best and whatever. And he's just, I just felt for him in that moment because I thought they were going home. Okay, Jack and Chelsea, surprise of the day, get to the pit stop in 5th place. I am psyched. I don't want to see them go. I am ready for more Jack and Chelsea. And Jack is talking a little bit about how, as the father, he's used to being the leader, and now they have to be partners. And just, I feel like I don't think they're going to go to the end, but I would be happy if they did. Like, I love me some Jack and Chelsea. And then last but not least, we have Joseph and Adam is sobbing. Like, he's not like crying. He is legitimately like can't catch his breath, sobbing, like loudly sobbing. Because in the twist, we find out this is a non-elimination leg, and he just the relief and just the release of all of that tension because he really thought he stood up for his brother. But Joseph is all, I would never run this with anybody else. You're the only person I would do this with. And we do find out that in the next leg, they will have a speed bump, which is just an extra task that only they will have to perform in order to get back, into the race. And next week they go to Europe. And I am excited because we see in the preview that there is a live vote for a double U-turn, and Phil says there is a tie. So I don't know much, but I believe there is going to be much drama. And in the only clip they show about the preview, we hear Jack say something softly like, if you don't like it, don't do the Amazing Race. I'm misquoting probably, but I'm like, okay, Jack, I am here for this. I am very excited for what comes next.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I don't watch the previews because I feel like they are like spoilers. But yeah, just to echo the Adam and Joseph thing, seeing Adam in the car crying and essentially like saying that his brother could have won the race with anyone else. And I'm like, Adam, stop talking like that. And he's just so sad. And then like they get there and they're like, we know Phil. I mean, like, first of all, I love to cry. Like, I love a movie that can like make me like I would just like, I was sobbing because it was like they accepted their fate and just Joseph as this big brother. And then Phil says that to them and they just run off. And I just love the fact that like they embrace and love on each other. Oh, I just love them. I'm so happy they're not going.
Have you ever cried from a commercial? There used to be like an old, I think it was like an AT&T commercial. And it would just, every time I would see it, it would just make me cry. Or anytime I see a video of like a dog being sad.
Oh no.
Like, not because of like it's hurt, but because like, the parent has left and the dog thinks they're never coming back. And then the parent comes back and the dog is like, their world is turned upside down. Anyway, it's dumb, but whatever. I am excited for what happens next. If you could please look up and find the thing where it says like beef is like is a cut of meat, but like for next time, whatever.
Liver isn't beef, but beef can include liver. Here's the breakdown. Beef is the muscle meat from a cow.
Right?
That's what beef is. The muscle meat from a cow. Liver and organ meat.
Right.
If it comes from a cow, it's called beef liver. You also can have chicken liver, pork liver, lamb liver. So liver can be from beef. Oh yeah, so liver can be from beef, but liver isn't beef.
Well, it's an organ of a cow. So like beef liver. I have had chicken liver. That's what the juice means.
But beef is a muscle of a cow.
No, beef is the muscle meat, which is like your T-bone steak, your New York strip, your whatever, the cuts of the beef.
So liver can be beef, or
Right.
liver can
My
be
God.
from beef,
Yes,
but liver itself isn't beef.
is an organ. Right, correct. Because beef is the meat, the
muscle meat.
the meat, right? And the liver is an organ.
Muscle meat.
Sure.
I'm just
Love
just
you
trying
so
to
much.
sure.
I love it. I'm learning things every day, and I'm very much into it. I will do this podcast forever, assuming I don't get sucked into the abyss of whatever ocean sea I'm going to be by diving. Yes.
Well, you enjoy, and
that way I won't have to relive season 29. Okay. Yes.
We're going to do it. But listen,
Scott has texted me multiple times, being like, "We're doing this, right?"
Oh, I want Scott to text me. I love Scott. But listen, this has been amazing.
Yes.
Your Pitstop coverage of Amazing Race, season 38, episode 8. We will be back from the abyss to cover episode 9 next week. We thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and share this YouTube video. We really appreciate it. We are just a young little something trying to be a big something. So help support us. All right. We'll see you next week.
It's the purple.
You know, another random thing I was watching on the plane before we go. Have you ever gone to and mind you, I think there's like a black thing, but you let me know if the Jewish community does this too.
Okay.
Well, I guess because do you call them funerals or shivas?
No, a funeral is a funeral. And
Okay.
a shiva, sitting shiva, is what you do at somebody's home for like the 7 days after the funeral, where people come over and you share stories and you whatever.
So I would think in the black community, we'll be like, how was the funeral?
Right.
Does anyone ever ask you that?
Yeah.
But see, I would think in the Jewish community, I think it would more be like, how was the shiva? Now, I say this to say because I also this morning was watching on TikTok funeral dramas. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Funeral dramas. And imagine
like people falling out of the bottom of a casket. Have you ever seen that? Oh my God.
But people not wanting people to come into the church, and the family not walking in because this person is there, them having to escort the person out, then the person comes back in, then the person kisses the body, and the grandmom goes after them, or people singing. And so it was just funny because in the comments, people were like, this is why we asked, how was the funeral?
Oh,
no.
So
that's why
I've
I
never
would
seen
say,
funeral drama like that. No.
Or I would think in the Jewish community, I think if there were to be drama to happen, I would think it would happen at your house.
Yeah, the shiva is usually, it's like a week-long thing, but it's usually very upbeat. It's like you're telling stories and you're reliving happy things and everybody's eating, and it's supposed to be like a celebration of the person. Wow. And people come and go over the course. The family stays there for the full time, but people come and go and just hang out. The funeral is a much more somber thing.
So you've never seen any funeral or shiva drama?
No.
Well, I mean, you're missing out. You're missing out because I have seen firsthand, and also your morning message lover, Miss Barb, girl, she's been the catalyst of some of the drama that I have seen. But anyway, that could be a podcast for another day, because I find that people tend to show out in my family at funerals and weddings and barbecues, because I've also seen some things at some weddings. But anyway, that was a random thing. All right, we'll be back. Bye.
Bye.
It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants. It's the Purple Pants.